Here we have Red West putting his fist in Elvis's throat, and Elvis is going to display his chi power or key power and pushing Red West and Al Holcomb backwards. I was amazed at why Elvis would jeopardize his vocal cords and allowing somebody to do this. He's introducing Al Holcomb there, and Al's going to want all the big publicity for it. He is discussing and demonstrating these 5 moves, and I'll talk more about them on another camera view. You can see the passion he loved training with. He has Mr. Stanley here on the side of his neck where his pressure points run up between the muscles. He's striking him to the groin right here. And again, we have a better camera view here. In just a moment, you'll be able to see it. But Elvis had tremendous control over his techniques. His hands was just fabulous, mostly from the Kenpo station. All of these events from many different angles. Once again, he's demonstrating his chi power with Red putting his fist in his throat. I was always amazed why he'd do this for a room full of people. Now he's going to take a shot from Red to the ribs. And the scream is what we call a key op. It's a way of generating more power. Or being able to absorb more pain without feeling it. I was amazed seeing the pistol fall and hit the ground so hard. There will be another camera view here in just a moment. Now, this technique that Elvis is doing here, where he's holding that gun, is one of the best ways to keep from getting shot, even accidentally. Elvis loved these self-defense moves. Striking to the temple there, he's gouging the eyes out. There's an old saying, a finger in the eye will make a grown man cry, and you'll notice he does that quite a bit. Now here he's doing some eye gouging again. He'll turn him around. He's going to strike, actually do 2 strikes there, breaking the nose and hitting the eyes at the same time. And then an elbow to the sternum, and then a back fist to the throat, and then he hits him in the groin. Now that's a ripping effect that he's doing. It's like a tiger claw, eagle claw to the face. Elvis loved using these techniques in his performances on stage as well. Here he's striking the pressure points in his face. It's a pretty devastating strike. If you don't know what it's like, it's very painful. Now he's splitting the fingers and striking both eyes. He loves that technique. Striking to the throat, that's a great place to go. Solar plexus and then to the groin. Then a takedown. And then he'll follow it up, stomping him to the groin. You can't see it here. Now, right here, you can see Elvis getting on his knees. This is what you do when someone pulls a gun on you at 10 feet away. You start praying. You can see a sense of humor. He loved this. Oh, and he says, the old master says, no way to stop bullet. He would call him master. When you get to a certain rank in the martial arts, in our system it was 5th degree and above. He's showing off an injury that Elvis experienced a couple of weeks prior to this that got infected. A girl reached to touch him to try to pull a ring off and dug the meat out of the back of his hand. Now Elvis gets a kick out of this. Like, why are you doing this, Connery? But he had an ingrown toenail. That's me right there on the left again, behind Elvis.
Every time, how to move around, he had to pull the leg and throw it inside over the, down through it. Pull the whole toenail off and just lift it off like that. And really, it was just 4 hours to do. ladies and gentlemen, and children, I'd like to share with you a few of the things which I have been privileged to learn myself. I'd like to demonstrate, first of all, the power, the inner power called the chi, C-H-I, or the C-I, in India it's called Dharma, D-H-A-R-M-A. It's the inner force, life within all of us, causes us to breathe. The force, I would like to show you how to use this force to keep from getting hurt. So I would call breath. I would call
Here he is showing his chi power again. And then you'll see a delayed reaction.
What I did was actually use the inner strength, the inner force back against what he was going to do.
August of 1974. That's his 5 techniques again. You notice he's hitting Mr. Stanley just a little harder, but he can take it. But he had excellent control. Elvis was great with his hands. His feet, though, in the Kenpo style he worked in, they didn't use high kicks at all. Yeah, when you grab somebody like that, there's quite a few places around the body you can grab them. You can just control them and they'll do exactly what you tell them to. That's a real good move. You notice as he throws that punch, he got out of the way. It's always best not to be there. You can see the passion he has doing this. Elvis wanted to promote the martial arts and show the world how great it was. It was good for the whole family. He was striking at vital parts of the body. It's hard to recognize them for the novice. This is an arm break. He's breaking the elbow there. That's a real nice arm break he's doing. Here they are getting ready to come up the stairway. This was the lobby at the school. We had an office back to the left right there that Elvis had painted red and black. Now the filming here was done in 1973 and 4. Elvis had a budget put together of about $125,000 to shoot this documentary. He was going to loan his image to it, and that's really what he was doing here. That's why he's in so much of it, so he could draw attention, get the world to watch and see the benefits of the martial arts. Now here's a room full of gladiators. Again, a mountaintop experience for me to get to train with these guys. I got to train with Bill Wallace for about 3 years, Al Holcomb for about 7 or 8 at this time. And we're getting ready to test Bill Wallace. He's getting promoted from 3rd degree to a 4th degree black belt. As you can see, Elvis is doing the talking. He's the head black belt in this class. Elvis wanted to promote the TCB system, the faith, spirit, and discipline of it, as a way of taking care of business and doing it in an honorable, fashionable way. Mr. Wallace just got promoted. You can see Mr. Presley is very proud of him. And that right there is literally the best martial artist in the world. Undefeated in point karate as well as professional kickboxing karate. He started the professional kickboxing. Elvis didn't want him to do it, but he did it against Elvis's wishes. And I think Elvis would have ended up being real proud of him. And the Memphis Press-Scimitar, as well as long as the Commercial Appeal, both did articles on this event in the newspaper the following day. And in the Press-Scimitar office, it was talking about Elvis's who dish it out can show he can take it as well. And the Commercial Appeal was talking about the Elvis Plans, the karate documentary. So this was some big news for Memphis. And just a mountaintop experience for me. This was a historical event that I knew I was lucky to be a part of. There he is going back to the eyes again. Elvis loved those techniques to the eyes. Breaking your neck. Can't shoot too well with a broken neck. This is a good takeaway he's doing here. And once again, I was amazed to hear that live gun just clang to the ground. Oh, you can see his passion, how much he loved this. Oh, and Red was his chief of security at this time and was almost ever since the beginning of Elvis's career. This is a real good takedown. But you notice the uniform Elvis is wearing now. It was a custom-made uniform. He had several of them. And you'll notice the bows on them and the flare legs. This was more like a uniform, almost like what he would perform on stage with. He was on stage all the time, even in the martial arts studio. This was a special outfit just for Elvis. No one else had an outfit like this. He's talking about his finger techniques again. He's going back to the eyes. Now, Elvis studied in about 3 really good forms of martial arts. He loved the Kenpo style and studied Taekwondo for a style and a Japanese style in the military. But these hand techniques, they're so quick, you can do literally hundreds of techniques with your hands while only being able to do just a few with your legs. So that's why you see Elvis using these hands a lot. He was absolutely incredible with them. Now that's a ridge hand technique right there, going back to the throat or the neck, either one. Ridge hands are very good techniques to use. It's a knife hand block. And there's that face strike again, hitting the pressure points in the cheeks. Then back to the eyes. Then to the throat. If somebody can't see you, they can't hit you or chase you. Solar plexus. And here they are arriving at the school, the Tennessee Karate Institute. You can see there's a crowd of people out there. No matter where he went, there they were. This was called Midtown, where this was at. Across the street from here is where he bought his furniture for the jungle room at his home. Elvis hired me in 1970 to train Red West, and that turned in like about a 3-year relationship for me, one that I haven't been able to find since then. This was an incredible experience. Even at Kong Ree's, Elvis would lead us in meditation. And it was almost like a spiritual event for me. I heard him speak of Bible verses and parts of the Bible that just came to life when I heard him speak them. Now here you can see his actually kick was a little low for Bill. Bill caught him by surprise. Now Mr. Hebler is going to get it up just a little bit higher for him. And that was part of the Kenpo system. They felt like rank testing was like a woman having a child, something they never forget. And this event is something that Bill Wallace will never forget it as well. This is one of the photographs that was in the newspaper. Jaw, or maybe even break your neck. He's talking about have your hors d'oeuvres. Have a salad, your main course, and then dessert. He compares it to a meal. The martial arts is a lot like ice cream. There's many different flavors. It all depends on what you like. You got vanilla and chocolate and strawberry. And martial arts are that way too. There's many different styles, and they're all good. And that's what Elvis wanted to promote. He wanted to promote all styles of the martial arts. And he really wanted to do it through the TCB karate system, to where you could use your faith, spirit, and discipline to accomplish anything you want in life. And he had a passion about that. And if you're an Elvis fan, you know what the TCB meant to him. And like everything else in his life, he wanted to apply it to the martial arts. He had 7 stars put on his patch for 7 days of the week, 7 colors in the rainbow. He thought that was God's perfect number. Here he's talking about his inner chi again. He refers to that a lot. And once again, thank you so much.